Welcome to Celeb Daily Info, your home for the latest in celebrity reactions, political controversy, and cultural chaos. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe, tap the notification bell, and stay connected so you never miss an update from us. The ongoing debate about how protests are handled in America has once again exploded into a fierce storm of opinions, outrage, and intense public discourse. At the heart of this new wave of controversy is none other than Jimmy Kimmel, the late-night host who never hesitates to use his platform to strike at political figures.
Cable news and believe this city is some kind of totalitarian hellscape right now. It most certainly is not. I cannot believe what's going on. I knew it was going to be bad. I did not know it was going to be this bad. People who have lived here their whole lives, people who've been in this city longer than I have, the vast majority of whom have never done anything wrong, are being abducted, which is the correct word to use, by agents in masks, hiding their identities, and at work, sending people to detention centers, and to protest that, which is not only our right as Americans, it's our responsibility. Los Angelenos have been gathering to demonstrate, and with very few exceptions, peacefully demonstrate, to voice their opposition to this disgusting and unnecessary abuse of power instigated by our mentally ill president, who is dead set in this, who actually wants conflict, who is intentionally inflaming and lying to make it seem like there's a war going on here. He wants there to be a war going on here, and he doesn't care who gets hurt in it. There's a riot outside.
Kimmel did not hold back this time either. In response to the recent military deployment surrounding the Los Angeles protests, he slammed Trump for what he called a gross abuse of power. He went on to mock the administration's handling of the situation, sarcastically calling the protests totally peaceful while criticizing the use of military forces. Kimmel tore into Trump's supporters too, accusing them of applauding authoritarianism while waving flags of freedom. This ignited a chain reaction across other media platforms. Trump's allies, however, are not staying silent. In a tense moment during a press conference, a White House press member asked a rather bold and polarizing question. There was a peaceful protest on Saturday in Los Angeles. Why did President Donald Trump not allow that? Enter Karoline Leavitt, a firebrand Republican spokeswoman known for her no-nonsense attitude. Her response? Blistering. Without skipping a beat, she fired back, "Of course President Trump supports peaceful protest. That's a stupid question you're asking."
There were peaceful protests on Saturday for the military parade. President Trump would allow that.
Of course the president supports peaceful protests. What a stupid question. Raquel.
Thank you so much, Caroline.
It was the kind of raw political moment that cuts right through the noise. While conservative voices were defending the administration's right to enforce law and order, liberal platforms were blazing with condemnation. Over on The View, things got even more dramatic. Whoopi Goldberg offered a confused yet passionate statement that left many scratching their heads. She said, "California is like its own country. The president can't just use his power here like that. I mean, after all, what do I know?"
Never having a states' rights. I thought that was what you do, because you tell the state, this is what we're thinking of doing. You know, you don't just send people in. You don't just send troops in. But what do I know?
Before the dust could even settle, jumped in, clearly fired up. "You're turning the army on citizens to police them. It leads to chaos and fascism, and that's what we need to understand."
You are an army turned inside to police its citizens can cause chaos, fascism. And so I think that's the way, and civil war. Yeah. I think that's the way we need to look at it.
There was a moment of agreement, but it was shattered as Sarah Hines unexpectedly broke ranks. In a surprising twist, she said, "The great majority of Americans support Donald Trump's policies to deport every illegal immigrant."
66% of the American public actually thinks it is crime enough to be undocumented and therefore deported.
That it's criminal to be undocumented?
Yes, it is not. You know how the disagreement was in the beginning? We were told it was going to be violent criminals, and I think everyone at this table would agree. Yeah. Haul out the violent criminals, fine. But 60% of the American public, 2/3 of independents, 90% of Republicans, and just a little under half of Democrats think the crime is in being undocumented.
Even if it's a civil offense.
Yes.
Yeah,
so what I'm
true.
saying is a massive amount of this country actually agrees with not how he's doing it, but with what he's doing.
This shift in tone stunned the panel, revealing a deeper divide, not just in politics, but among those who usually share a side. Then came the voices from Hollywood. One that stood out is an outspoken singer and actress who calls herself Small Princess. A known critic of Trump, she unleashed a fiery statement regarding the military's involvement in the LA protest. These are ruthless attacks, she said, creating fear and chaos in our communities under the disguise of law and order. Trump is using military force to silence democratic protests. What kind of government does that? Every time we try to raise our voice, the military is deployed. That is not a democracy. That is a regime.
There are ruthless attacks that are creating fear and chaos in our communities in the name of law and order. Trump is using military forces to stop a protest. And I want y'all to consider what kind of government it appears to be when every time we exercise our democratic right to protest, the military is deployed against us. What type of government is that?
Her words hit hard and echoed the fear many Americans feel that the balance between security and freedom may be slipping into dangerous territory. But beyond all the yelling, the media battles, and the fiery social media posts, the core question remains, where is the line between keeping order and suppressing dissent? Are we witnessing strong leadership, or are we watching democracy erode in real time? The country is divided. Passions are high. And the political war of words is far from over. Make sure to leave your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear your voice. Do you think Trump was right to use the military in response to the protests? Or is this a sign of something more dangerous creeping into our democracy? Thanks for watching Celeb Daily Info. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and stay tuned for more updates that keep you informed, engaged, and always one step ahead.